So in this video, let's take a look at building out a financial report based off of a dimension structure. So I'm in my financial reports here. I'm going to click add, and I'm going to give this report name just gross profit by project. And I am going to say this report is built off of a dimension structure, not accounts. So once I select dimensions then and I go to rows, it's going to ask me for a dimension structure instead of account groups. So I'm going to hit my little drop down here and I'm going to pick my project dimension and I'm going to choose the dimension structure for active projects, include that in report and say, okay. So if I look then this other tab, I have within the reports module, my dimension structures. So in projects, I have active projects, which is made up of the project group called active projects. And if I look at my project groups and active projects and click edit on that, it is filtered off of a status of active. So any active project that I have in the system is going to make up the project group active projects, which rolls up to my dimension structure for projects, which I'm basing this financial report off of. So all my active projects are going to be pulled in to this financial report. Next, in my columns tab, I have my column 1 here. I'm going to say, show me the ID and the name. So I want the project name and the ID. And then in column 2, I'm actually going to pull in a budget. So I'm going to choose a budget. And for you, you may just have project contract. But for me, I'm going to choose contract original because that's what I'm actually posting my GL budgets to. So contract original, but for you, it's probably going to be just called project contract or whatever budget is that you want to pull in, obviously, to report. And then I'm going to choose inception to date as my reporting period. And I'm going to call this project contract. So I'm renaming the column. Once I click over here, you can see that that column has been renamed. And my account group is revenue. So that's my column 2. I'm going to add in another column here. This is also going to be a budget column. And this one is going to bring in my project estimates. So for my estimates, I'm posting them to the GL budget project estimates. So that's what I'm going to pull in. I'm also going to do inception to date here for my reporting period. Project estimates is fine for the title. And then that's going to be based off the account group cost of revenue. Okay, so now I have my project contract, have my project estimate. I'm going to add in another column here. And in this column, I'm going to do a computation. So it's going to be a summary on the columns that already exist within the report. So in this case, I'm going to hit the little pencil over here beside the summary. I'm going to select the operation of subtract. Obviously, you have all these other options here: divide, multiply, add, etc. And I'm going to say column 2 less column 3 is going to give me my estimated gross profit. And I'll leave that as a number. And then if I preview this report, here's what that's going to look like. So it's pulling in my project contract amount and my project estimate amount, and it's given me a column for my estimated gross profit. So that's, basing a financial report off of a dimension structure and some of the other things that you can do with these columns. And then another thing that I didn't show you was this expand by. So let's say we want to expand by, well, we did see already expanding by time periods, but let's say I wanted to expand by department. So if I hit set on that and then preview it, what does that do to my report? So it's basically going to split out my projects then by department. So I have my construction operations, they're all going to construction operations. So not a very good example, but it's giving me different columns and then no department. These ones are not linked to any department. So I have my construction operations and I have my no department. And then this is the column for the totals. So you can expand by different dimensions. Like sometimes people might want a report where it's based off of a dimension structure of projects. They want to split it out by department or even cost code or something like that. So that is an option that you can do, this expand by. So that's another thing where you're just going to kind of mess around with it and see what makes the most sense for you. But this is a report obviously based off your dimension structure, based off of my active projects. I'm pulling in my project contract, my project estimate to give me my estimated gross profit for all my projects. Obviously, you can, build out more than that as well. And then, go down through your filters, formats, etc. But that's just a really basic, giving me my estimated gross profit report. So hopefully that all makes sense. I would obviously save that then when I'm finished. And that's going to close out everything that we're looking at for our financial reports. And in the next video, we're going to take a look at custom reports.